Sorry about that, guys. A little bit of a slow start this week for Team MLive here on the Lions beat.
It's late in the season. It's like we're falling apart.
Welcome to our Detroit Lions preview show here at MLive. I'm Kyle Meinke.
I'm Nate Atkins.
Nate, the Lions are back on the road this week for a game against Tampa. Losers of 2 straight. Their backs are against the wall. They're 6-6. They trail the wild card by 2 games at this point. This team revolves around Matthew Stafford. He's their best player. Certainly on offense, he's their best player. And now he's dealing with another hand injury. We saw that last year as well. It really impacted his play. How well Matthew Stafford can throw the ball could hold the fate of the Detroit Lions in his hands.
Yeah, I mean, literally in his hands.
Yeah.
You saw last year where they fell apart when he couldn't throw the ball through that hand injury. They're just not built well enough on defense right now. They're totally depleted in the front 7. Obviously, they never run the ball consistently. You've got to be able to throw it. It was interesting when Jim Caldwell was asked on Monday, you know, what does your offense do well? And he just immediately said, we throw the ball. And it seems obvious, but it's like, well, if you don't have the quarterback to throw the ball well, then what's going to happen to this entire team? And so it's not just that they have to sort of manage this. This isn't even like an Aaron Rodgers, Green Bay Packers situation. They cannot lose a game. Mm-hmm. So obviously the health of the quarterback means everything right now.
Just a quick note, Stafford, when he suffered that hand injury last year, his accuracy went down to about 60%. That's 8 points below where it was before. And he threw 5 interceptions in 4 games. He had thrown 5 interceptions in the 12 games before that. Clearly it hurt him. He's relying on that arm, and that arm is just not right now. That's a big concern for the Lions. Okay, Nate, time for another reader question. So let's consult the electric Twitter machine here. This one comes from Trump Has Us, We Are Okay. That's a mouthful. When will the Lions release Caldwell? When will they hire Josh McDaniels? I don't know. It might not happen in 2017. You know, I mean, I know a lot of people have turned against Jim Caldwell. Some people have turned against him a long time ago in his 2-game losing streak and the slow starts and all this stuff has people turning on him. I get it, but he did sign a multi-year extension in the offseason. Ownership loves him. Bob Quinn likes working with him. I'm not convinced that he gets fired. I believe there's a case where they could go 9-7 and miss the playoffs, and he could still keep his job.
I think the extension was the telling part of it because they not only did it, but they kept it hush-hush. Felt like something they didn't want to come out, so it wasn't a publicity stunt. They wanted to extend him, and we don't know why because we never get to talk to Bob Quinn or ownership.
Speak for yourself. I see Bob Quinn about once every 3 weeks in the buffet line on Sundays.
All right.
He does not mention the future of Jim Caldwell though, while he's getting his beef brisket.
Yeah, exactly. But I think they want to keep him, and they'll do it so long as they feel like they can, and they can sell it to fans, and they can keep it together with their players. The one thing that could unravel it, some of the things we've seen in recent weeks, not getting enough players on the field for certain plays. I mean, look, these games come down to a lot of different factors. A lot of it's performance-based. It's a lot bigger than coaching, the fans want to realize. But when you can't get enough players on the field, that's bad. That's directly on coaching, and it's hard to defend. Jim Caldwell doesn't even try to defend it, and if it doesn't get fixed, that's a hard thing to say.
That's what we got for this week. As always, want to hear from you going into next week, so hit us up on the Twitter machine right there. Got a prediction for us, Nate? I know your illustrious winning streak came to an end. Apologies, my condolences. What do you got for us this week?
Thunderous end with that blowout loss, but we'll see if we get back on the winning end. I've got the Lions winning this one, 27-23. They've got issues, but the Bucs have even more issues. They're 4-8. They're falling apart. They've got a quarterback prone to turnovers, and I think that happens this week.
Yeah, I think the Lions are falling apart a little bit too in a lot of ways. I'm going to take the Buccaneers, but a split ticket this week. I got the Buccaneers 23-20. They're not good, but at this point the Lions aren't either. They are so reliant on one player, Matthew Stafford. They have no pass rush, no running game. They have a pretty good secondary, but they don't have playmakers outside of their quarterback, and the quarterback is hurt. I'm not convinced he's going to be the same kind of player. Give me the Bucs. That's what we got. I'm Kyle.
I'm Nate.
We're MLive. Keep it right here.